I'm Scott Hanley, General Manager of WBHM, the NPR station in Birmingham. I have been in broadcasting in general, not just public broadcasting, for more than 30 years. My career in public broadcasting has allowed me to do a little bit of everything, from engineering to music hosting to production to raising money to spending money. Although I sometimes joke now that mostly my job is asking for money and signing things. So I took my first opportunity in broadcasting at a commercial radio station in Ann Arbor, Michigan, WAAM, where I first was the on-air person for a 90-minute shift of playing music, and the rest of it was producing and running the board for public affairs programs and something called the Greek Melodies Hour. So I was the person there to sign the paperwork, and that's my start in broadcasting. I've done a little bit of everything. When I was at a rock and roll station in Saginaw, I was Michael Hayes, and back when Pat Benatar was a new artist and Prince was really tearing it up. But I also did a lot of jazz. Did some classical music hosting, but really as a broadcaster, it almost doesn't matter what kind of music you do. The opportunity to be a person who is helping present entertainment means that that's your job, not necessarily any given format. As public radio evolved, I ended up leaning more and more towards public media and found that was where I really wanted to be. For WBHM especially, about half of our income comes directly from listeners, and 90% of our income comes from gifts and grants. That means we're really responsive to donors. And we're really responsive to serving the community, which is a very different approach than to be responsive to advertisers' needs and interests. Either way is fine, but the public radio side allows us to be more responsive to our audience on an ongoing basis. Saturday at noon on WBHM. Well over half of my job is administration or raising money or overseeing the overall resources. The least of my job is getting to do broadcasting. That we are a smaller station compared to stations that I've managed in the past does allow me to do a little bit more direct on-the-air broadcasting, which I enjoy. So that's actually kind of fun for me. But at the same time, making sure everyone else gets to do their job is my number one job. National Public Radio, serving on the board of NPR, was one of the most fascinating experiences of my life. I was on the board of directors at several different times when we had deep financial crises and also when we had incredible financial success. Trying to balance the bottom line at the same time as serving mission. And the larger the organization gets, it doesn't get any easier, because there's always going to be people and interests that need to be taken care of and limited resources within which to do it. So it was a great experience to think big and yet have to manage small. The opportunities I've had in my career themselves have given me access to a lot of interesting and fascinating people, but at the same time realizing that interesting and fascinating people are just people. Right. So whether it's Hal Holbrook or Wynton Marsalis or a civic leader or a president, all of these folks are still people and working the best they can with whatever their goals and ambitions may be and the challenges they face. So for those of us who work in media, we have an opportunity to try to tell the stories, the challenges, the issues, the concerns. It's a growing enterprise that has even greater opportunity ahead. And having been involved with it for the last 35 years, I got to witness those growing pains at the same time as understand the humble mission that drives the whole service is still the same as it was when I started. For me, the biggest honor has been to help be a part of people's communities, and that's been in communities in Michigan, in Iowa, in Pennsylvania, and now in Alabama, helping, I hope, improve people's lives, which whether it's with better information or better entertainment.